Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video, and today we're talking about some of the easiest lures to use, how to make them better, and what sets them apart, what makes them so very simple to use. Now, add some here. Okay, now all of these are practically the easiest lures you could use, and even with just this you would actually already catch a lot of fish. Now, one of the things that, or the only thing that's common for all of these, okay, is the fact that to use them you only have to reel straight. That's it. There's no jerking, no nothing. All of these lures would work on just the retrieve. Okay, so starting from the very top, we have these plugs right here. These plugs are surface plugs, and the thing with these surface plugs is that this is for choppy water, this is for calm water, and they're sinking. Okay, they're sinking plugs, but they're actually designed to work on the surface, and what they do is actually slap the surface like that, and these two here dart. Okay, so kind of like a top water walk the dog, but unlike a traditional walk the dog minnow, all you do with this one is actually just reel it in, and then it would skitter on top, and they work. They are some of the best that you could use. There's a lot of types of these, a lot of brands, the most popular being the GT ice cream. Now, to make this better, I installed a swivel to give it a better range of motion, and I installed a double hook assist hook. Now, this particular one is Teflon coated, so I don't really have to set the hook. As soon as the fish grabs it, okay, here it slides, and because it's Teflon coated, it's just gonna penetrate and hook the fish. These ones, which are flat, as you can see, they are good to use when the water is a bit choppy. Okay, so again, also with assist hooks, and this one I will use with a single hook, which I'll install later on. Now, for subsurface spoons, okay, probably some of the most underrated lures out there. Again, I will change the hooks on these, and I'll make them better. Now, spoons are largely fished either on the bottom, near the bottom, or subsurface. Now, two of the best spoons would be these Castmaster types. Okay, like this one here from Bogey. This is the Horizon spoon. This is heavier, obviously, and as you can see, it's quite similar to a Castmaster, and that's basically what it is. I think this is kind of like a copy of a Deadly Dick. Deadly Dick certainly went out ahead, and the Castmaster being the first one. These lures have been around for a really long time. Now, if you're curious of what this is actually a Lure Jensen crocodile, and together with the Castmaster, they're two of my favorite spoons. But I modify them to suit my style in saltwater, and I'm probably gonna make a separate video on that. But these spoons, if you're casting, they're very good casting lures. Smaller ones are great for smaller fish, obviously, like fish like brim in saltwater, or sea brim, several types of species of sea brim. I've even used them on the flats. I mean, they're the really tiny ones, so they work. Okay, so just as an example, this is my mini metal lure box. As you can see, I'm not gonna run out anytime soon. I have the really tiny ones all the way to like this size right here. I love spoons. They're some of the most versatile lures you could use from the shore, on the boat, on a kayak. Very versatile, and all you have to do again is just cast them out and reel them in. The slower you reel them in, the more it will flash, and all you gotta do really is just find the speed that the fish likes, and then after that you'll start catching fish. So the most common thing out of all of these lures is actually finding the right speed, and that's it. Now, second to that, of course, I modify the hooks on my spoons. I like using single hooks on these, and lately I've been seeing myself actually using assist hooks, which I find to increase the hookup ratio significantly. I'm gonna make another video for that, just to rig them. Okay, so now the reason why I have this big spoon is actually so that I could show you. Now, if you could look at how thick this spoon is, this is 50 grams or 53, as you can see there. Okay, so it says 53 grams. This is a K Hiramatsu Ketiga ocean spoon. Okay, so this sucker is pretty expensive. Now, 53 grams, this size. Now, normally if you buy this type of spoon in America, they're pretty thin, but this one is long casting, it's heavy, and hey, you know what? Probably one of the most versatile lures out there. Again, this one will obviously sink faster than a more traditional US made spoon or US style spoon. Now, the thing I wanted to point out was the thickness. Now, if the spoon is actually kind of compressed and heavy, or it's thick, it's designed for casting. Okay, the thinner the spoon is, the more difficult it is to cast, and you'll find some spoons that are quite big but are quite thin. Those are designed for trolling, so they're not for casting. That's just that. Okay, now on the bottom I use soft plastics, but particularly soft plastics of this type. So you have your paddle tail and you have your curly tail. Again, these are meant to only be reeled straight. You vary your speed until you find what the fish likes. Sometimes they like it fast, sometimes they like it slow. It really depends on a lot of factors, but if you find, you'll pretty much catch for really the whole day. So these, easy. You need a jig head, something like this, for these to work. Okay, so hook that up like that. You can cast it, you can jig it up and down, you can pretty much do anything you want, but there is practically no way to fish soft plastics the wrong way, and that's the beauty of soft plastics. Now, again, I'd like to say, reiterate this point because it's really important. All it is for you to cast it out as far as you can, let it sink to the bottom or whatever depth you want it to be, hold your rod at a 45-degree angle, and then start reeling. Okay, that is it. It's as simple as that. Now, this is a tie rubber. Okay, and again, the theme here is the easiest lures to use, and this is no exception. Really, you just drop it down to the bottom and then you start reeling out. Okay, there are some people that prefer to use rods that are specific to this, and there are rods that make this work real easy. Okay, because the tip is so thin that when the fish pecks at the tail, you actually feel it. Okay, so again, very easy to use. Just drop it down, okay, and then start reeling. So that's the common theme for all of these lures right here. We'll go in depth on these in a separate video, but with these lures, you don't have to do much. Okay, you'll fish like a pro if you just cast these out, reel them in, find the speed where it works for you, and you'll see this will start swimming and actually making a lot of commotion, and then you'll know that that's the speed. Sometimes the fish like it really fast, like it's skittering on top, and rather than actually having a stick bait or a walk the dog minnow like a Zara spook, this is easier. You just reel it in. That's it. Okay, spoons, subsurface, they work like plugs, but they have more flash and you can work them slower, and that's probably what I like about these. No need to jerk or rip them. Okay, they just work on their own. When you pause, they flutter down really nicely, Some lures just either sink or they float up, but with the spoons, they still move when you stop. So what you want is actually a slow roll, and you start from there. Okay, too fast and then they spin. Soft plastics on the bottom, just reeled straight. That technique is deadly. You can fish it on top, reel faster, and as soon as it hit the water, you start working. Okay, on the bottom, you can swim them slowly. You'll get strikes. It really depends on what you're targeting. Tie rubber, just drop it down, hit the bottom. As soon as it hits the bottom, you start reeling. That's it. So all of these lures have one thing in common. They work with just a straight retrieve, making you look like a pro. Okay, so these are the easiest ones to also give people that want to try lures for the first time, because these are really big confidence builders. Okay, so for you guys that are new to the channel, as you can see, we're discussing fishing techniques that I have learned over the years and in the industry, because I used to work in the fishing tackle industry for one of the biggest manufacturers in the world, and I'm sharing what I have learned from that experience. For those guys that have subscribed, thank you so much for the support. And if you haven't yet, guys, those that are new here, please like and subscribe. Most importantly, share, so that we get the information out to the people that need them, especially those that are just starting out. Alright, so that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.